the woman accidentally walked in. On the night before her wedding, her fiancé was still flirting with another woman at a bar, but she didn't choose to cry in heartbreak, nor did she secretly plot revenge. Instead, she pushed open the door without hesitation and stormed into the private room. Unexpectedly, the man showed no guilt and even acted more intimate with the scheming woman because he was certain she couldn't leave him. The woman simply let out a soft sigh. Her gaze fell on the cake on the nearby table, recalling all the times he crushed her self-esteem. She finally snapped, grabbed the cake and smashed it onto his head. The man was stunned, completely unaware she had given up on him for good. He still arrogantly warned her not to regret it. A friend nearby sensed things were off and urged him to go get her back, but the man remained confident, sure she would soon come begging for his forgiveness. As the girl walked downstairs, she was drawn by a melody. She looked over to find a handsome man playing the violin, but despite the cheerful tune, his face was full of sorrow. Turns out, he was the billionaire CEO worth hundreds of billions. Under pressure from his family to marry, he ordered his butler to immediately find him a bride. Right at that moment, the butler ran into the woman in her wedding dress. He pulled her aside and proposed a marriage agreement. As long as she agreed, she would become the CEO's wife from that moment on. Feeling heartbroken and hopeless, she tearfully said yes. The butler then brought a marriage contract and a bank card loaded with $1 billion in cash. Looking at the agreement, she was filled with emotion. How ridiculous that her ex always boasted about being rich, yet all his assets combined couldn't match the dowry casually given by the CEO. That night, the butler moved her into the villa. Rumor had it, the CEO became the richest man at a young age, but a car accident left him disabled and made his temper unpredictable. Now he was also suffering from an eating disorder. Hadn't eaten or drunk anything for days, but the woman thought since she married him, she should fulfill her duty as a wife, so she personally brought food to his room. Unexpectedly, the moment he saw her, a trace of gentleness flickered in his cold eyes. She was the one he had always longed for, and it was her violin music that made him fall in love with the instrument. He had searched for her all these years. Just as he was about to give up, fate brought her back into his life. Meanwhile, the man received a call from his father, telling him the CEO had returned to the country and ordered him to secure the business deal at all costs. After hanging up, he immediately thought of having the woman handle it, only to be told by his assistant that she had resigned 3 days ago. Furious, he called to question her, but she coldly replied they were completely over and would have nothing to do with each other again, then hung up right away. He still didn't take it seriously, thinking she was just trying to make him angry, completely unaware that in a few days he would be the one begging at her door. The next day, to help the CEO with his insomnia, the woman went to pick out some aromatherapy products. As she stepped out, she ran into her mother. Seeing her shopping like nothing happened, her mother was immediately displeased. She already knew her daughter had broken off with her ex and just wanted to force her to apologize. The woman tried to stay calm and talk, but the moment she sat down, she was pressured again to go back and say sorry. Faced with a mother who always treated her like a tool, she no longer had the strength to explain her marriage. But just then, a marriage certificate fell to the ground during their struggle. Her mother picked it up at a glance, thinking it must be some old man, but the moment she opened it she froze in shock. Yet a second later she laughed, convinced it was fake.